2 years. 2 years. We're finally doing it. 2 years of planning, 6 months of building, and we're finally here. We're here. Welcome to the very first live stream by myself. I'm Ian Ginter. I own and operate OA Leather Supply, as a lot of you will already know, and this is the start to, I don't even know yet. I have no clue what I'm going to be doing with this. We're going to be making stuff. We're going to be having a lot of fun creating new ideas. I'm going to be talking with everybody, getting everybody's opinions on things, on whether or not they want to see certain leathers in the door, they want to see certain other materials in the door, that kind of thing. This is going to be the place where I do everything like that. It's going to be just a really fun place for me to go and create things and hang out with you guys and spend some time getting back into the art form, because it's been a while since I've done it myself, and it's time I get back into it again. It's time I spend time with you guys. It's time I get my hands dirty, I get back into the trenches and have some fun doing this. So I want to welcome you guys to the very first live stream. We got Gus back there, he's chilling. We're having a good time. WGP City 99, what's up, Ian? What's going on? Clan Designs in Winnipeg, nice to see you in here. It's awesome to see you in here. You're the very first person to ever comment on a live stream. So you gotta love that. That's amazing. But yeah, this is gonna be it. So I've got a bunch of different things that we can do in here. And yo, Turbo, what's going on? Dad Hands, what's happening? We're gonna be in here. So what I've got is this is gonna be the main camera that you guys are gonna see. So I'm going to get into it a little bit more today. I'm going to be making stuff today, and essentially I'm just going to be working right here, creating things. You're going to get an over-the-shoulder shot of what I'm doing. Just, having a good time, creating stuff, going back and forth with you guys, just doing that kind of thing. And this is going to be the format for it. So you're going to get an over-the-shoulder cam. I'm working on another cam for... Let me just switch here. I'm working for another camera for the sewing machine. There's a lot of ins and outs to this. It's actually been pretty mind-blowing, the amount of work that it's taken. I thought it was just going to be like plug it in and send it, but that's not how it's working at all, to be honest. It's been a lot of work standing everything up and getting the levels right. And that's another thing. I'm going to have to tweak things with you guys over time. So like if you ever have, the music's too loud, your mic's too quiet, whatever, like we're going to work together and get this thing nice and crisp and chugging along. So with that said, welcome all of you to the first live stream. It's going to be a blast. I'm excited to see it. Taylor, what's going on? Chris, what's going on? Lionel, what's going on? Happy to see you guys in here. Really happy to see you guys in here, honestly. This is what it's going to be. This is just going to be a fun hangout spot for all of us, honestly. That's so rad. I'm really stoked for this. Yeah, me too. I'm stoked for this as well. And I don't know for scheduling, we're going to play it all by ear. We're going to see what's going on. I'm going to see if it works for you guys, if it works for me. Maybe stream, a couple times a week, maybe more, maybe less. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet, but this whole thing for me, this entire streaming thing, this is not for the wrong reasons for me personally. This is a space where I'm going to get back into making stuff, and I'm going to just be interactive and a click away for you guys. If you guys want to chat with me, if you want to ask questions, if you want to bounce ideas off me, that kind of thing, I'm going to try my very best to keep up with the chat as much as I can. I have it right here on the side of my monitor, and I'm just gonna do the best I can to keep up with everybody. And this is just for me to be able to have fun making stuff again and just to connect with you guys. I found a while back, actually, funny quick story here. I found out a while back when I was making something out of leather, I realized that I was like, I'm out of adhesive. I need adhesive. And I didn't even have any adhesive within OA Leather Supply at the time. So that was an example for me that was like, holy shit, I can't do this. I have to have my ear to the ground. I got to know what's going on for you guys, for myself. I have to have more awareness with what's going on. And I always found too that when companies would grow so large, they would kind of take a step back from the community. They'd take a step back from responsibility and stuff like that. And with this, I want to lean into it. I want to be directly involved with everything going on. And I want you guys to be able to connect with me on a personal level to get the things that you guys need and essentially keep that homegrown, family-owned business vibe alive. That's what I'm trying to do. Audrey, what's going on? OA Nation, yes. It does. Here, I got to scroll up a little bit. Sorry, guys. I'm going to try and keep up with this as best as I can. OA Nation. OA Nation. This is rad. I'm really stoked for these. Sorry, I already read that. Yeah, you guys are just having a good time already. It's great. I love to see it. We're going to be doing that too. Like, I'm going to be, if anyone comes in here and is disrespectful, whatever, they're going to be rocked out of the channel real quick. And it's just going to be a really good time for all of us to hang out. And another thing that I want this stream for is, I don't know about you guys, but I work alone a lot of the time. And I always throw on something in the background, a podcaster, a streamer, this, that, whatever. And I want you guys to essentially have like an alternative shop companion if you so choose. Like if you want to run this in the background. The problem with Instagram I found was that lives are great. It's all fun and games. But if you want to go to a different screen on your phone, if you want to check something else out, you got to exit it completely. And that's not, and you can only watch it on your phone as well. So that's another thing where with YouTube, you can just get right into it. You can put it up on your wall. You can put it on your computer. You can put it on your cell phone. Throw it up anywhere in your shop. And we'll just be listening to music and making stuff. So anyways, I love to see you guys in here. And I'm going to get right into it. I actually have I got a project that I got to do right here, right now. This, believe it or not, okay, so this is the wild part of essentially running a business is that this is kind of embarrassing to say, but I have never even used Glassjack. And this is a leather that I worked on for 1.5 years, almost 2 years to create this stuff. And I've never even personally used it. So today's going to be the day. I have a couple things that I want to test with it. And bear with me with volumes, with camera angles. We're going to sort it all out. We're going to get it all nice and crispy over time. It's going to be great. But this is the first one. I've done a couple test runs, but it's kind of not great. Like you can't test it until you're testing it, until you're in it, right? So regardless, I'm really happy to see you guys in here. I'm actually going to refresh the chat here. Yeah, this is sweet. I'm super happy to see you guys in here. So enough out of me. I'll talk to you guys more here. Smooth sailing so far. Love to hear that. Look at this. I even got a swear button. Holy fuck. Oh, I love it. We're going to have fun. Looks and sounds so great so far, my dude. Thank you very much. I'm happy to hear that. It took a while to get these levels all sorted out, and they're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but we're going to get her going. And first off, actually, I'm going to give you guys some background music here too. Bear with me. And then also, we're going to go through samples as well. That's another thing I'm going to do with you guys is I can show you right here, actually. What we're going to do is like this, for instance. It's like Lafargue, okay? I have a bunch of samples here. And, I know of leathers that I want to try out to bring in for you guys. But for you guys, it'll be like, hey, check this out. What do you like? Like, you like 1 or 2, And I'll be able to go through a bunch of things. like that, and just kind of involve you guys, well, not kind of, super involve you guys in what's going on here and create more of a personal touch. You know, like that's the goal here, essentially. But yeah, I'll be able to go through these leathers and just be like, hey, check this out. You want to make a wallet out of that? Pretty cool. You know, like that kind of thing. So I'm excited. Like I said, 2 years. It's been 2 years that I've been trying to plan this out. And it's been about 6 months of actually building this whole setup and getting everything all ready to go. It's not for the faint of heart. I'll tell you that right now. Camera screens are aces. Nice. I like to hear that as well. That actually was the longest wait time, was those transitions. I had to get those transitions made for me because, like, obviously I'm pretty dumb when it comes to that kind of stuff. I mean, I can do like photography and basic videography and stuff, but when it comes to like actually creating transitions and coding and stuff like that, yeah, no shot. Anyway, so what I got here is, this is Buck Brown glass jack. And yeah, I'm actually gonna make a laptop sleeve out of it, and I wanna make the type where I can actually crease it over the top just to test. I want to test the durability of it over time. I want to have something, because if you make a wallet, you know, like you'll open it and close it, but it only creases on one point. I want to have it be basically like it'll cover the whole thing. The whole thing will be covered, and then it's going to have a top flap that folds together kind of thing. So that's the idea behind it. And then over time, I want to just test the durability of it. And then also just see, like, hey, if we got to change something, we can send her back and send back the information to the European tannery we have it made from, and they can tweak it and improve it for you guys. So that's kind of the idea. But yeah, Roxy B, nice to see you. Hugo, nice to see you in here. Any word on if you're getting any Horween Havana Dublin, Brown Dublin? Thing about Horween is that we kind of get what they give, so we can kind of request things here and there, but it's more so just a surprise even for me every time I get that leather in the door, because I never even know what we're going to be getting unless we're told ahead of time that there's a couple things here and there that are going to be consistently in the order. But so I mean, what thickness are you looking for particularly? Because what did we have it in? We had it in a 5 to 6 ounce, if memory serves correct. I go through a lot of leather in my mind and in photographing and videoing, stuff like that. So sometimes it's hard for me to remember. Hugo. Yeah, so in terms of the time for streaming, random or fixed, this is a big qualm that I actually have with a lot of streamers out there, is that they are not really consistent, and the ones that I tend to tune into are consistent. So I'd like to say I want to build it consistent over time. Now, granted, we're going into the busy season now. You guys are going to be ordering a lot of stuff, and it's still only me here. Sarah does correspondence, and I got some of my other relatives. I got my family in there doing purchasing and whatnot. I have my parents in there as well, who do some clerical work and that kind of thing. So since that's the case and it's only me in here, it gets a little bit here, I'll turn it to this for a sec. It gets a little hectic during this season. So obviously worst time to start something like this, but I'm going to do my very, very best to make sure that I'm doing a consistent stream. So long form answer is I'm going to try and do consistent, and it's just essentially going to be whether I do it every day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday maybe to start, or that kind of thing, maybe once a week. I want to do it more. I want to do it every day. I want to be in here with you guys hanging out. I want to be making stuff. I want to be pushing the envelope, getting creative, doing all kinds of fun stuff again in my life, and I want to be doing it all the time. But it'll be energy permitting and weather permitting, Like, I got to also make sure that I got power running to this thing all the time. Power outages are going to be, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. That won't be fun. But regardless, we're going to get her going here. So You had it 9 to 10. I could do 8 to 10. It's for straps. I had 9 to 10. Havana Brown Dublin. See, like this right here, not the best camera angle. 9 to 10. Oh, yeah. Okay, my apologies. I had to think about what it was. What the type of leather was. Yes, I receive lots of that kind of stuff. And you know what? If you send us an email, I actually probably have some still. If you send an email, Sarah will get on that and she'll help you out. And she'll just drop a line for me to even check for it. And I'll see if I've got anything in stock there for you. But yeah, we'll see. I just realized my question was not quite relevant since we can watch the lives later anyway. So that's another thing, is I'm going to upload all these VODs. They're all going to be live anytime. You can, or not live rather, but they're all going to be visible anytime. So that's definitely another thing. They're all going to be accessible. But the only difference being that you won't be able to interact. You won't be able to chat with me on the go, obviously. As long as we're notified there was a live, that's fine. Yeah, so that's the thing. Is like I'm going to be advertising on, I'm going to be notifying rather on Twitter, Instagram. I'll push a notification to the mobile app as well. So that'll be another thing that I do, another way of getting a hold of you guys. And then YouTube. I mean, it goes without saying, everybody says it during a YouTube where it's like and subscribe, turn on the bell notification, turn the alerts on. You know, it's like if you do that too, you won't miss a beat. But I don't know. With me, I follow too many channels, so having the notifications on is kind of difficult. But okay, so this here. So I want this to be. I'm trying to think here. So essentially, what I want to do is I want to have it fold up over the laptop, just like this, and I want to cover the laptop. Here, actually, it'll essentially. So it'll essentially look like this in a way, but how this one has just the flap that opens up to the actual pouch on the inside. I want the whole thing to flap over, if that makes sense. And then I'm debating whether or not I have a wraparound strap to hold it together. I'm not too sure how I want to go about it yet. But essentially, yeah, this will be, so it'll go up, so about there. That seems about correct. So what I could actually do right now is, where are my tools here? What I could do is I could mark this just so I have a line to measure off of. Have you ever had interest in game hides, or am I alone on this? I find it extremely hard to find. You know what? They are extremely hard to find, even for me. It's not just you. It's actually quite tough to find. We actually have there's a tannery up the road here that does that kind of stuff, and I should see if they're interested in teaming up. But yeah, a lot of those exotics they're hard to find, and the thing is too is like, since I ship a lot over the borders, you have to be careful what you bring in, because if it's not a byproduct of the meat industry, there's some places that have quite strict regulations, and I don't really know what a lot of those are. So like one of them is alligator. I don't even think I can bring alligator into Canada from the States. So that's one thing where I gotta check up on it, and you know, just since it's been so difficult, I've just kind of left it. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I want to push this laptop as close to the edge that it has room. I can pinch it, but I don't want it sliding around in there. So that's another thing you guys are going to notice with me, is I do a lot of work by feel. I do measure, but I also just look at things and I eyeball a lot of things. So, okay, so if we do it here, and then if we were to say cut it I want to get my thumb in here. Here, let's see. Let's try the zoom action. Oh, look at that. Wow, we're making it happen over here. Darn, I'm gonna go catch everyone next time. Okay, yeah, Audrey, nice to see you. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so if I do this here, I'm gonna try. Sorry, I didn't know I was in front of the camera. See, it's these little things I'm gonna try and get better at over time here too. If I go about right here, I'm gonna just make a mark with my nail. That'll be where I measure to. So I have my rough rectangle now. So I'll give this a go here. So what are we at for length here? We have 13 3/4. 13 3/4. This is a MacBook Air as well. I don't even know the dimensions of it, to be honest. Or the, I don't know the specs on it. But what I'm also going to do, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, give me one quick sec. I'm going to go run and get my notebook because I need to save these design notes so I can put them up for you guys as well. So just give me one sec. All right, so what did I have there? The paperwork to bring Gator into Canada is super expensive, and I looked into it through Tannery Row. It's hundreds of dollars. Yes, that's exactly what I've kind of experienced as well. What about things less exotic? Moose, deer, buffalo, elk. Yeah, you can definitely bring it in. You can definitely have it for sure. But it's really hard to find. Like, it's actually not easy to locate. And some of the suppliers that I've worked with in the past haven't necessarily given me top-notch quality. Okay, so this is 13. So let's start writing this down here. This is the main body of it is going to be 13 3/4 inch. Okay, so we got that. You know, the length on this is going to be 19. Let's go 19 and a half. 19 and a half inches there. Another thing I'm getting that nobody knows about yet is I'm getting cutting mats made up with the logo in the corner. They're going to be black, hopefully with the tan colored logo, that tan color that I use on all the logos. So I think that's going to be pretty sweet as well. Okay, so now what we got to do is just cut this out. So what did I say? 13.75. So 13 3/4. Okay. Line it up here, 13 3/4, and then 19 and a half. So we'll go right there. I think this is correct. Where'd my little thing go? There you are. Okay, actually, I can just cut that. I don't need to mark it. Okay, there's that cut. And like I've said before, guys, too, like I will definitely, I'll tweak the camera over time. I'll tweak the audio over time. I'll get everything up to par. You know what I wanted to make for my first project? I already made a mistake. I wanted to go longer than the laptop so I could fold it over. Right? You know what I wanted to make for my first project on here. I wanted to make a pair of like gold boxing gloves. Just something different, you know? Yeah, I was supposed to go longer with it by probably 6 inches. Can I get that out of this? I don't think I can now. I wrecked it. Not paying attention. No. Okay, we can solve this. We can solve this problem. Okay, so if I've got it like that, I essentially want it to be... I want it to fold over and wrap over the top. So what do we got here? We got this one. It folds over the top. Holy, sorry guys, I'm falling behind in the comments here. I was just making this thing and I realized I didn't go as long as I wanted to because I wanted to be able to fold the whole thing over. But that's okay. We can use it maybe for, hold on. Maybe there's something else I can quickly whip up here. Time to use the bleep button? Yeah. Up. Stitch on flat as a solution? Yes. See, this is why I love having you guys in here too. We gotta sit down. Stitch on flat as the solution. So I was kind of thinking about that. I was thinking I could stitch. Yeah. I could stitch on. I know I could stitch the backing on. So it would kind of look like this, right? Okay, so with this bag that I just recently made, I wanted it to be one continuous piece that wraps up and around. But I actually made a mistake and I did the same thing as I did right here. And I cut it right off flat. So that's why I had to create this, which I think it actually turned out kind of sweet. It added a design element and I stitched it on to the back there. So it was just an extra piece. And then used that to fold over. So I think I'll do that. But the problem is that I wanted to do it where it was like this. Like I wanted to fold the whole thing over. Like that, right? So what I'm thinking is, I can do it on the back, right? Like that's no problem. I can have a cool design on the back or just flat and straight, whatever. But on the front, if I wanted to do it on the front, I want to have I want to have pockets. I want to have maybe one main pocket with a line down the middle. Because I want to store, I'm going to use this. I have a bag that I use every day, but I want to use this to test it out. I want to use this to check the quality of the leather over time. And I just need to fit this in there. So this will go into one of the pockets and then maybe a couple pens or something in the other pocket. So that's where if I have an attached flap on the top as well, I don't know how well that's going to look. So what I could do is I could start again. And I could use this piece as the pocket design. I'm gonna waste a tiny bit, but that wasted edge could actually be used to make like keychains, key snaps, maybe a bracelet, that kind of thing. So I don't think it'll be wasted necessarily, but I think that's what I'm gonna do. Because I like the idea of stitching, on the back flap. Make it on the bottom. Yeah, Hugo, you should have you should have said something. Oh. Make it on the bottom. Do you mean stitch it like all the way down to the bottom? What if I went up with it? What if I went middle of the way with it? Okay, so laptop sits in here. What if I went middle of the way up? That can fold down. Essentially then I'm just doing this design. Problem solving 101. Phil, what's going on? Nice to see you in here. Make it a front and back. Make it a front and back instead of one continuous piece. Then Yes! That's what I'm doing. It's exactly what I'm doing. I like your style. So instead of folding up on the bottom, it's going to be front and back. Oh, man. I love you guys. You've saved me. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're getting rid of the stool. We don't need that anymore. I love it. And I've already got the dimensions and everything. All I got to do is trace it out. See, I feel like this camera almost needs to be higher up. And instead of like, if this was where the camera is, this one right here, it needs to be like up and over my shoulder more. What do you guys think of that? I actually can't even go higher. I can't go much higher on this. I'd have to get a different setup for it. Oh, I love this. I love this idea. We've solved it. I love it. So we'll just roughly trace this line quick. And then I'll cut this out. Front and back. And then what I want to do is do the pocket idea as well. Here you go. It's all good, my guy. It's all good. I forgive you. You know what? That's another thing. I don't know. Even back in the day when I was doing custom leather work before I started the whole supply company, man, I made so many mistakes all the time. So many mistakes. I'm even like, to this day, I'm even afraid to use leather that's super nice. Like if I had my hands on some more Shell Cordovan or something, like I wouldn't even trust me with it, to be 100% honest. I do want to work with it. I do want to make some stuff out of it, but that's another thing is like, it's not really, I don't know, it's not really my style. I've always gravitated to leather that looks like it's already been used for 10 years. There's just something magical about it. Almost, I don't know, unless I was making a pair of shoes or something. But okay, what did I do? Where did it go? Did I roll it up? Man, you guys are gonna have to be on me. Holy. Yeah, that realization most of the cool patterns and embellishments are the product of oopsie daisies. It's so true. It's so true. It's all in how you pivot, right? It's all in how you fix your mistakes. That's me too. Those little happy accidents. I went on a wine tour in British Columbia, and there was a bottle of wine that we got to try, and it was a one of those like shrink wrapped labels to the bottle, and they were saying that the intern that they hired for just putting the labels on the bottles, that was her only job all summer. They hired her to do it, and she put on like, I think it was like 2,500 bottles she put the label on upside down. So they went to the owner of the business and said, hey, like, pretty big mistake here, what do you want to do? And the owner said, I love the idea. I love the idea of that. I love the look of that, rather, and we're going to keep it. And we're actually going to send it overseas to get tested and judged for a competition to see who has the best label. So they sent these bottles overseas. They sent full bottles, and they didn't know that they had to send empty bottles. So the person who was sorting out the bottles that were coming in for these competitions, for the taste testing competition, for the label making competition, whatever. Yeah, Chris, in the Okanagan. They rerouted these bottles over to the taste testing because they accidentally sent them full bottles of wine, which is another mistake in the story, right? And they ended up winning best wine. I think it was like 2013. So those happy accidents definitely can be turned into something. And then later on they sent their wine to go to the actual label competition, and they ended up winning that too. I think that was the Vibrant Vine was the name of that winery. Okay, so what I'm doing here, obviously, I'm gonna round these corners off on the bottom. I don't want to have them be. Can you guys see this here? Let's do a little zoom action. I don't want to just go square with the bottom here. Man, beautiful suggestion. You all had good suggestions, but this one tickled the old fancy. Only those who do nothing make no mistakes. That's so true. I love that. It's very true. You miss the shots you don't take. A master has failed more times than you have tried. Look at us, eh? This isn't even a leatherwork stream. This is just a philosophy stream. Sorry if I'm in the frame. I'm just gonna line this up. How many righties and lefties do we have in here? I myself am a lefty. I write with my left. I mean, I eat with my right, but I write with my left. I play sports on my left side, so I swing a bat or a hockey stick, that kind of thing. Okay, so this here, we're gonna double this back. Another question I have for you guys is lefty. The first one comes in with as a lefty. Love to see that. Oh, I didn't cut this one. Another question I was going to ask you guys too is, do you rough edges on a finished back leather before you apply your adhesive? This has been a question of mine. Let's see if I've got. So this here's a rougher, and essentially it's just used to go along the edge, and literally just as its name entails, it's supposed to rough up the edge so that adhesive sticks better. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't used it that much. Some leathers you kind of have to if they're waxy, but I've never really found that they were that important. But to each their own. Like, some people definitely, I mean, I'm using it right now, so some people swear by them. I mean, I get it. I think I totally understand. I understand the method to the madness here. But I always found too that, like, you're not using the adhesive to keep the project together, right? You're using the adhesive just to, for me anyway, hold it in place before you go and stitch it. That's kind of what I always understood it to do. This is like the third time I've ever even used one of these before. I don't know. I think I tend to cut corners that you can cut when it comes to doing work like this. I'm not the type of guy either that I don't really like making the same thing twice. I know there's a lot of people out there that love it. And I mean, there's definitely some projects that need to be created to master level. Like there's the work that you got to put in to get it to a really good spot. But I get so bored so quickly. Okay. Sorry, let me catch up with you guys here. You know what they say about lefties? Weirdos. I swing a bat right. Right. Hockey, I'm left. Okay, that's weird. That doesn't even make sense, Taylor. I don't know what to tell you. No, I'm just kidding. That's just like me. Honestly, I eat with my right and everything else is left. The rougher, the stronger bond. Yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely agree that it would work. I just feel like for its purpose, some leathers are not necessary. That's just my personal opinion. I definitely think some are not necessary. Some definitely are, for sure. But I don't know. It's probably something I should be doing more often. Yes, you always rough the finished flesh side. Yeah, see, there's definitely quite a few of you that definitely do it. Rough the grain side. Yeah, okay, so it seems like the consensus is that you guys definitely do. Yeah, Exacto to rough it up. I do that sometimes too, for sure. It helps having a good bond when finishing the edges too, I find. Okay, so that's another thing, is that I don't know, throughout my journey, I'm not really I'll lightly burnish edges, but I'm not like big into like the glass edge, if you will. Actually, hold on. I just about did another step. I just about messed up again. I gotta slow down. You guys are distracting me. I'm just kidding. What I want to do is I want to add a pocket to the front here. So if I go... I want to go... Where am I going here? So if I have this... Let's just mock this in here real quick. If I throw this in here, like so, and if it's stitched like that, this will fold over like that. That's what I want. I want it to be almost all the way down to the bottom. And it's not, I don't know, like should I put, so this is my next question is, what would you guys do? Would you put a strap? Would you put a strap there? Like that wraps around, and then you can, here just a sec, and then you can like tie it into itself to secure it. Would you do that, or would you have it just be, I'm kind of leaning towards no strap. I'm kind of leaning towards let's let the leather do its thing, and over time let it just flop over. But you don't want to be throwing it in the back. Well, you're not going to be throwing it, but you don't want to be like putting it in the back of your truck or something and the laptop slides out. Or I could do, see, I want to keep it, I don't really want to put hardware on this thing. I don't want to put a buckle on. I don't want to put a magnetic. Oh, magnetic would be kind of nice. I could sew on a little tiny patch at the back here maybe and put a magnet in it. And then have the magnet in the bottom of the pocket that I'm going to stitch on here. So when you close it, but will that hold it? I don't know. Do you guys think it would hold? Yeah, okay. So I know that the front piece is supposed to be shorter. But what I wanted to do with this project in particular was I want to test the durability of this leather when it's folded over. And I want to have it be not just a simple flap like this one, but I want it to essentially be the entire thing that folds over. I just want to see how these edges are going to hold up over time. This is the Englishtown Glass Jack. And I want to start really testing this stuff out to see if I need to go back and have formulas modified so that they last longer for you guys. I tend to jump to one project to another too as I get bored too, but I think redoing the same project is always a way to improve as you correct mistakes or imperfections, in my opinion. I totally agree, Hugo. I think that's definitely 100% correct, for sure. When I first started, I did so much custom work that I kind of got to a point, like obviously with you guys here right now, it's the first stream. I'm going to be making mistakes left and right because I'm just not fully, I'm not lost in the project, right? But I found that the more types of projects I did and the more custom work I did and the more out there the design was, it's like chess, right? Like you have to think multiple steps ahead all the time. And you have to formulate, you have to think ahead. You have to think 3 steps ahead. So you get better at thinking, you know, like, oh, there's a pocket. You got to put the pocket on first before you stitch the entire project together. Or, you know, like one thing I'm going to get into on this channel a lot is like, I'm going to get into liners. I haven't done a lot of liners in my day, but I'm going to do a bunch of liners and bags now. And that's one that I know of that if you don't do it properly, you're sunk, right? Like you're screwed. Magnets, yeah, magnetic purse closures. Yes, I've used them on messenger bags lots. By the way, nice to see you guys in here. I know I've said it 100 times, but I'm very grateful that you guys are having fun in this chat here, and this is going to be what we're doing. Like, we're going to just be making stuff on here. I'm going to just be creating things. It's time to get my toes wet again, right? So this is my way of doing it and connecting with you guys and just kind of getting my ear back on the ground again. Anyway, yeah, I was saying with the thinking ahead, thinking 2 steps ahead, you tend to not forget certain things, and you can see ahead that, like, oh, I'm going to need a pocket here, so I'm not going to stitch that on, that kind of thing. You get what I'm getting at. Yeah, so a magnet that might hold up. I don't think I need anything. I think that over time this is definitely going to just work its way in, and I'm not going to have to do much to hold it together, and I can always add things later. I kind of want to just rough it, and I want to just kind of see how well it holds up and how well it holds too. You need a fairly strong magnet, yeah. Trent, what's going on? Tuning in from Attons Lake. Nice to see that. I sadly don't have anything set. I don't have any camera angles set up for the shelves. This is just going to be, I may get some down the road for sure, but this is essentially just going to be a live stream for me to get back into making stuff and connecting with the community on designs. And I offer a lot of free design notes where I'll make something. Like I made this laptop sleeve kind of thing, and I will put these up on the wholesale website where people can then use those designs, customize them, use them straight up, and they can go and sell them and make money on those designs. So this, I've carved out a corner of the shop here to kind of be able to just get into the work again, get back into the environment. So I don't even really have that many shelves over here. They're all on the warehouse side of the building. But I'm definitely gonna do a tour at some point, and I'll have camera angles multiple all over the place. I want to have a Gus cam too, because he's just chilling back there. He's just lazing. I want to have a Gus cam like right up in his little mug. Anyway, it's nice seeing you. Thanks for joining in. That's what I'm saying. No need for anything. Just let the leather do its thing. So there, you sold me on it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let her back a little bit. So that being said, I want a pocket. I want a pocket in the middle, and I want it stitched down the center as well. So I think for the pocket, I'm gonna have to use this piece. I don't want a pocket on the back. I want it to be nice and clean and smooth. By the way, how is the weather out at Attons Lake? It's getting a little chillier here. It's nice though. I love that crisp October air. Okay, let's see here. So your studio looks fantastic, by the way. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. It's been a lot of work. It's been about 6 months of building this studio space. And like I say, 2 years kind of planning it out. the streaming thing. I always wanted to stream. I did a couple streams where I would pack leather orders for people, but they were just lame. Like they're not what I want for content and for connecting with you guys. Place has changed a lot since I started a few years ago. Yeah, my grandfather and I toured a few months after you opened. That's right. 17 and sunny. Could almost go for a swim. That's awesome. That's good to hear. That is good to hear. You got to get that summer while you can, I guess, eh? Okay, so I'm going to be stitching, let's see here. I'm going to be stitching this corner. Where's my wing divider? There it is. I'm going to have to tune this setup a little bit. I'm going to have my stitch, it'll be probably 1/8 of an inch off the edge. So if it'll be there, here, I'll zoom in for you guys here too. Just a touch. Let's do this too. Just for a minute here. So what I want to do is I have my stitch line right here. I want to have the pocket go kind of close to it, but not so close that it looks stupid. I want to have it be a decent amount off of the edge. So if we go, okay, so if we go there, if we're going to be, shit, we can be 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 of an inch off the edge, right? Okay, so with that said, this measurement here, zoom back out. This measurement here is going to have to be ×2 because I messed up on the first one. Multiplied by 2 now for the front and the back. Okay, so now the edge for the pocket. So if we do this here, the pocket will be 3/4 of an inch less on both sides off of 13 3/4. So what is that then? 13 1/4. Yeah, you're taking, right? 1/4 plus 1/4. What am I saying? 3/4 plus 3/4. So 13.75 minus 1.5 inches is what? I can't do the math in my head. Studio looks great, by the way, blah, blah, blah. I missed it earlier. What's the weight on that leather? This is 3 to 4 ounce leather. This is 3 to 4 ounce glass jack. I'm testing it right now on a laptop sleeve just for durability so that if I have to go back to the tannery and have it altered, have the formula altered so that it lasts longer, or so that certain, I want to test all the ins and outs of this stuff. Thank you, Trent. Okay, 11 1/4. So this pocket will be 11 1/4 long by, what do we got overall here? 19.5. So that'll be, I want the pocket to go, see, this is where you gotta go a little by feel too. You can't really be too sticky on your measurements all the time. Okay, so if it's like that, I want it to go up to about here. So that would be, let's go 8.5 minus 3/4. 1, 2, 3. So 7 3/4 is going to be the height. 7 point, what did I say? 3/4. 7.75 for that. Okay, so we can cut that out now. Yeah, you're right. 1 inch should be good, as there will be swelling with the laptop inside. Yeah, you're right. I want to go... Sorry, I know that was probably deathly loud for you. I want to go a little bit... I want to go a little smaller. I want it to be a little bit tighter. Okay, so let's get this now. Okay, so 11 1/4 by 7 3/4. So we can go, this side will be, this side here will be the 7 3/4 side. 7, so 5, 6, 7 3/4. And this will be the 11 and, what did I say, 1/4? 11 1/4 side. Okay, and then I will be able to just cut this out. What did I say? 11 1/4. Okay, so 11 1/4 and 7 3/4. Okay, now am I thinking about anything else? Is there anything else I got to do for this? I don't think so. Yeah, I want one pocket in the middle. Is that big enough though? Yeah, that's fine. I want one pocket in the middle, and I want a stitch line going all the way down the center of it as well. Okay, so there's that. There's that. Okay, so now I need one of these. This is where the pocket will sit, just like that. So now I want to round these corners. Question is, I used to round the corners less round on the inside pockets than I did on these. So on these outside edges, I would use, say, this mason jar, and I would round it with that. Inside diameter, I would go smaller. You know what? We're going to try starting smaller, and then we'll go bigger if we need to. Just trying to think. Sorry, guys. I'm going to catch up with the chat a little bit here. Metric makes adding measurements easier. I know. It just is what it is. Jesse, hi. Say I love your business. I've bought probably too much leather from you guys for my hobby. Well, you know what? I'm happy that we're here for you. I'm happy that you're finding what you need. It's been a wild ride getting to this point, honestly, and I'm happy that I can offer a lot of things that you guys are up your alley and what you're looking for too. And you know what? If you think you've bought too much leather, oh buddy, you should check this place out. Okay, so I just need a smaller diameter. Let's try this. I need a smaller diameter jar here. Okay, let's do that so you guys can see. I'll probably get my head in the way. Okay, so there's that. Use a coin. I know, hey, I should. You know what? I have those Japanese corner punches. They work pretty well, but I want one with a wider, like with a bigger diameter on it. Here, where do I have them? Do I have them here? Yeah, I do. Sorry, pardon my reach. See, I've got these tools right here. They'll punch the corner out nicely, but like that's a tight angle, right? So it'd be nice to have, I should reach out to, I got a couple people that can potentially make that stuff. Bradshaw, is it Bradshaw? Steel Ruler Dies? There's that guy. I wish I had a leather store nearby. It's just not the same buying leather online. You know what? I would agree with that. But at this point in the world, it's the best thing that you can get. Unless you live somewhere like Chicago or something where you have access to all the stores. I live in the middle of nowhere, so I don't have access to a lot myself. Okay, so let's test this out. So this is the smaller diameter. I think that looks good. I think that not having that matching diameter is actually kind of nice. So, and then what I want to do too is I want to go lower on the bottom. Like I don't want to go, if this was right, like that's just like right in the middle. You get the same width as you have on the bottom as on the side. I want to go down closer to the bottom edge. I think just personally, I just think that looks better. Okay, so let's try that. This is where I would eyeball it, but since you guys are watching me, I guess I better be professional with it. So this will be 1.25 inches on that side. Oh, look at that. I eyeballed it directly center. Okay, so I'm going to quickly mark this on the edges just so I know where it sits. Okay, now this is the question for you guys. Right now, would you now use a leather rougher right here on these edges? I think that I would. I think this would be an instance where it's probably in your best opinion, because if this thing slips around at all, you won't be able to stitch it centered. It won't look very good. So let's see here. So there, I got those lines there. Okay, now is there anything else I want to put on the front here? I don't think so. So I'm going to have a stitch line. I'm going to have a stitch line right down the middle as well. Check it out with the laptop. Yeah, good call. Good call. Yeah, this will look good. And by the way, I'm not just going to be making like laptop sleeves and stuff. I have some ideas, and they're pretty out there. Like, I have some ideas for things I want to make. They're going to be just fun things, just me, you know, just messing around, having a good time, creating stuff for fun. Okay, so that is going to sit like that. Fold this over the top. Yeah, that looks nice. Nice ice. What is that work surface on your desk? This is puckboard. I bought this from a company. I had this custom made from a company that does the sheeting, the walls on hockey rinks. And I got it made in black, and it's 1/4 inch thick. I haven't listed them yet. They're not live on the website, but they are, I think they're, oh, I got one right here. It's the same thing, but it's for pricking irons, for punching stitch holes and stuff like that. So it's just thin, rigid PVC puckboard. Okay, so this pocket sits nicely. I checked with the laptop. Excuse me, sorry about that. I checked with everything. We're good to go. Sorry guys, I'm falling behind on chat a little bit here. Double stitch line in the middle for stylus pocket. Hey, I like that idea. So you're saying like 2 lines of stitching. You know what I did at one point? I actually had the stitch line go down and then loop back up again. Do I have a bag in here with that? I feel like I do. I do somewhere. I've done that before and it looks kind of nice. I actually made a tote. I had a tote bag with that design and it worked really well. Yeah, I like that idea. Oh, Sarah's in the chat. I often use double-sided tape for overlay pockets. I hate getting glue exposed by accident. Okay, so I haven't used that before, the double-sided tape. That is a smart idea. I haven't used that stuff either. Hair sniffing advisor to President Joe Biden. I love that name. That is hilarious. What glue are you using? Fiebing's leather cement? No, I'm actually using Renia Aqualim. Renia Aqualim 315. This stuff here, by the way, can't really see it. This stuff here, I'm not able to ship this all winter. So honestly, if you guys need any of that, I'd get it sooner than later, because when it starts getting cold out, I can't I can't fire that off to you because if it freezes, it's a water-based adhesive. If it freezes, it's no good. Did anyone answer my question about roughing? I think I should rough this. And I gotta get moving here. Probably boring half of you to death. Ever head up to the Scott Colony? Joe owes me a favor. I'm gonna get him to make me some clicker dies. No, I haven't. They come here, you know, periodically. They'll stop in, see if I have anything that they're interested in and whatnot. But no, I haven't gone over there. I know Jessie goes over there all the time with her mom to get pickling stuff, ingredients for that kind of stuff. Here, sorry guys, I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Hope you guys are having a good day out there too. It's Friday. It's well, it's Friday. Need I say more? Probably not. Okay, so I've roughed that. Yeah, what would you guys do? I would rough it. Yes, I'd rough it. I'd definitely rough it. Are you one of the owners of OA? I am the owner of OA. That is me. I rough any finished surface. Yeah, that's a good call. That's a good rule of thumb for sure. It's the shiny side. Pretty good shot, particularly the saddlery. Yeah, for sure. And I've heard too that they make really good gloves. I've heard they make good gloves. They make boots as well. That's another big one for them for sure. Okay, so with this here, I'm good to go. I can essentially start to glue this together. I find too that this Aqualim, it dries really fast, which is kind of nice compared to Thiebing's leather cement. What are we doing? What are we talking about here? Is this already sealed over? Wow, shows how long it's been since I've been in the shop, eh? Yeah, I'd like to go, Jesse. I would love to go next time. I'd love to see what it's all about. I don't know if this is gonna work. I think this is totally clogged up. Watch it be one of those situations too where I pinch it so hard it explodes. It's Saturday here. I'm in India, 2:09 a.m. Wow. That's dedication right there. Good to see you in here, my friend. I don't think this is gonna work. This thing's totally sealed up. This is another thing. I gotta get more of these little bottles. They're so nice. They're so handy. These little needle point bottles. I don't know what to put in here. The needles are too big. The harness needles. Maybe I got a sewing machine needle that's small enough. Nope. That's not happening. I hate how water-based cements always block the needle. Yeah. I didn't think it would. It hasn't. That's the irony too, is like I've had it in this bottle for probably 2 years and I've used it on and off. And then the one day that I start a live stream, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, she's plugged. Anyway, okay, I'll try this one more time. And if it doesn't work, we just got to go the old-fashioned spread technique. Yeah, that's what we got to do. So instead of going all high-tech about it, I am going to cut off a little edge here. Actually, let's cut this in half again. Okay. You can run it underwater and it should free up. No kidding. It Dynamite splash. I know. I was waiting for it to just explode. Bring him a sneaky. I like that. Sneaky Misky a whiskey. They'll be your best friends. Oh yeah, no kidding, eh? Okay, so we just got to do this old school. It's essentially, it just has to, hold long enough that I can stitch it. I'm making a mess here. Holy. Here's my needle point. You know what? I might not even be able to get to it fast enough. And this thing is way too thick. Bear with me. I gotta like paint it on like a paintbrush. Come on. There you go. There, that's working a little bit better. I know for a fact though that I'm gonna mess this up. At some point I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna jar it too much, squeeze it too much or something, and it's gonna go everywhere. Okay, let's do this faster. Ooh, yep, there it is. Okay, let's try and drag a line of it. Jeez. The things you gotta do, eh? That actually worked out kind of nice right there. It's weird, this glue in the right lighting, and it's almost like fluorescent in color. It looks kind of cool. Okay, almost done. Steal a little from down there, add it up here, and we're almost good to go. I'm gonna just take, this is gonna be, that'll be bleeding out everywhere, so put a little up here, like that. Okay, we're good to go with that. That's good. I'll leave that off to the side for a sec. Pocket. Okay, we'll put it in place here. Make sure we're on our lines. We only have a couple seconds really to work with this stuff. Okay, and then I'm going to take this other leather piece and just clear the edge here of any overflowed adhesive. Okay, got all that. What's the, you guys probably know. This is something I don't even know. What is the, there's like something that you can rub. It's like an eraser. You can rub it on leather and it takes off excess adhesive. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's, I don't know. It's not like, maybe it's like a rubber compound. I'm not too sure. And then this. So you were saying put it under water. I guess, yeah, I could just soak it in hot water later. Yeah, I'll do that, I think. Or a Q-tip, yeah. Use some masking tape if you have some. Yeah, maybe a brush. Gus is sure comfy behind you on the couch. Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, Kaylee, what's going on? Sorry, I didn't even recognize you there. I didn't read. Yeah, he's just chilling. Here, let's show him. He's just chilling. Look at that, eh? That's just maximum relaxation. Yeah, you know we're talking about, Jeff. You're good. Okay, so what are we talking about here? Okay, so I got this all done. That's done. So now I'm just going to tidy this up a little bit here. Okay, so that's good. This is good. That's good. This won't take very long to dry, and I need it to dry. I need to stitch this before I obviously stitch it together, because that would just be a tragedy if I did that. I bought it from, okay, hold on. I gotta scroll up here. It's a belt sander cleaning block. Yeah. Okay, hold on. That's what I'm talking about here. Okay, so cool that you are the owner. You have an amazing website. It was really smart of you to have videos of every leather in your inventory. Helps a lot. One day I'll order from you. Thank you very much. That was definitely the driving force for me when I started doing this, was that I just couldn't find any. I couldn't find anywhere that you could buy it, for one, and then two, if you could, they had like half-ass photos that were just total garbage, and so I wanted to do videos. So thank you very much. Q-tip, yes. Lonsdale, BC. Yeah, Lonsdale has them for sure. And I don't know what they're called. Probably the same thing as a belt sander cleaning block. Yes, I would imagine it would be the same. That sounds right. I've got it from Lonsdale Leather. Has a rubbery feel to it. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So it is like a little bit of a rubber thing. I think the person I saw using it was over at Stock and Barrel. I think he was using it at some point. Works a little sorry guys, just trying to keep up with the chat here. Rubber adhesive eraser. No shit. Works well most times, but it might darken the spot if you're too aggressive. Since it's water-based, you don't need any solvent to clean it up. Yeah, that's true. Gus is so cute. Yeah, he definitely is. You should have seen him as a puppy. You can use a remove glue spots. Sold in Dollar Tree. No kidding. Good to know. Yeah, because I want to offer some of that stuff too. Like, see, this is the thing. Is like since I haven't been doing this in forever, just because I've been focusing on the supply side of the business, I've just gotten a little bit out of the game. I don't know. I've probably said this story quite a few times, but I heard of a guy once upon a time that owned a leather supply business, and he had never made a belt before, and he had been in the industry for 30 years, and he had never made a belt. And that to me is just, that's kind of unacceptable. Like, that's kind of like, you got to know what to do in your own industry, you know, like you got to kind of have a feel for what you're doing. And that's where, for me, I started out with leather work. Like, I started out doing this right here. I'm obviously rusty. I got to get back into it again, so it's going to take me a minute, but this is what I started with, and I haven't done it for a while. And it's like, either I go further into business and focus on that side of things, or I put my ear back on the ground. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So then in a moment like this, I'm like, shit, I need something to remove this adhesive on the sides. Perfect thing to think about, to bring in. And like, if I need it, guaranteed all of you guys would probably be able to use it. Hammer it down. Where's the mallet? Yeah, I know. I could do that for sure. I like to do that actually after I've stitched it. It flattens the stitches kind of nicely. Can use. Yeah, belt was the first thing he made after 4 years. I made a wallet the first time, and that's another thing I'm probably not going to make very many of on this journey. I don't really have a passion for wallets. It's I did it in the very beginning, and I think I did too many of them. It was it's just something, I'm not passionate about them. I like bags. I like duffel bags, messenger bags, totes, purses, weekenders. I love making bags out of a new SB foot leather that's just hits the spot. That's what I like. Okay, so I got this ready to stitch. Now what I want to do is I want to... Okay, fiddly for me. I only make them when people pay enough. Yeah, they're too... You gotta be... That's the issue for me. Is that they're too... You gotta be exact with them. You gotta know exactly the right dimension, because if you don't, the card either won't fit or it'll slip out, and like, fuck that. I'm not in the mood to do that. Okay, what's half of 11 1/4? 10 and 5/8, right? Or sorry, 5 and 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's definitely the middle. 5 and 5/8 on that side. 5 and 5/8 on that side. Okay, so we're gonna cut this right down. Not cut it, but we're gonna measure it right down the middle. 5 and 5/8. I think I'm just gonna stick to the single line, and I'm gonna go almost at the top. I don't want it to be too floppy on the top. It doesn't seem straight. Hold on a sec here. 5. That's not quite 5 and 5/8. We're talking... It should be right there. That's better. Come on, man. Measure properly. What are you doing? What are we talking about? Okay, 5 and 5/8 there. So, like I said, I want to go almost to the top. I want to go down a little bit though, because I don't want it to look... It's got to look good. You know what I mean? Sorry guys, I'll come over here. I'll angle it a bit over here for you so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so let's start here. We're going to eyeball it. Start there, and we're going to go to about there. And then what I like to do as well is I like to rivet it on both ends of the stitch. I just think it looks nice. Okay, so we'll do that. So now I got to stitch it. I don't even have my machine set up for flat table. I wonder how hard it is to do. I got this new flat table attachment for the Texo. It's an aluminum flat table attachment. I have a flat machine, but obviously I want to use Texo. Texo is, they make such nice stuff. I want to use their machines. Do you guys think that I could just do this? Do you think I could just wing it on a cylinder machine? Do you think that being out of it for as long as I've been out of it, that I can just instantly have the skill to make it happen on a curved surface, not a flat tabletop? I mean, we're going into some murky water here, and I don't know if I can handle that. I don't do watch straps because everyone wants shell cordovan, and that leather makes me sweat and fear when I put a knife to it. Yeah, that's the thing too. You're paying an arm and a leg for it, and if you make a mistake, that's why I'm not allowed to touch that stuff. I know that I'll make mistakes for sure. Would you recommend the speed reducer, by the way? No, I wouldn't. Though I haven't worked with Texo machines that much personally, because like I say, I haven't really been utilizing them. Sorry, not utilizing them. I haven't really been doing a lot of leather work myself lately, so I just haven't used them a lot. But the work that I have done on this, and I'm about to do work right now, like I'm going to do stitching on it right now, I don't think you do. I think they go slow enough. For sure. But, I will say, I don't know if the speed reducer is better for the motor. Like, I will say there may be a technical reason that I'm just not aware of. Sarah deals with a lot of that kind of stuff. So I just have to cover my ass and say it could be a technical reason why they use them. I know, Jeff. You want to see Copper Legacy again? So do I. Honestly, so do I. I think it was the first full hide I bought from you. It's great color out of the box and wears. Oh, what a perfect leather to use for your very first leather. I'm so jealous of that. That's unreal. What good stuff. I want to bring that stuff in again for sure, but that's another tannery that I work with where it's kind of like You gotta kind of just take what they have when they have it, and it's becoming so popular now. Another thing is that Red Wing Boots has like they've discontinued a lot of their colors, so they've gone in different directions, and they've stopped tanning certain leathers. So through their tannery, SB Foot, obviously, it's harder to get a lot of their stuff. What fascinates me are old briefcases and bags. I'm planning on making them one day. Yeah, me too. And like trunks. Are you kidding me? So cool. Probably pulls more amperage on the motor at slow speeds. That makes sense. Thanks. Yes. So that's what I would imagine too, is that it's probably a technical reason why. But yeah, so I got this flatbed table attachment. Here, I'm gonna show you guys the difference. Okay, so this is the standard one that you get with the machine when you get the flatbed table attachment. It's just like this. It's a standard beefy wood flatbed attachment. Like I'm not even complaining about it. It just is what it is. But now they got these new sleek aluminum flatbed table attachments. So I think that that's the future, man. Holy. But yeah, I want to see. I don't know. I'm thinking I should probably use it, but I don't know if I need to. I think I possess the skill enough to stitch on this thing, not flatbed. We're going for it. What thickness do you recommend for duffel bags? 5 to 6. 5 to 6 ounce all the way. People will fight with me all day long on that. They'll say 4 to 5, or they'll say, I guarantee you it'll be less than that, people. But for me personally, my opinion, 5 to 6. You have such a beefy, not over the top beefy, but like beefy enough that you'll be able to give it to your kids type of thickness. And that's what I'm talking about right there. Okay, so I'm gonna move this camera. Like I was saying, for those of you who weren't here in the beginning of the stream, this is the raw form of the stream at this point. I'm gonna be having multiple, as you can see, I've got a camera angle there, I got this camera angle here, but I'm gonna have a machine angle as well. I just had a little bit of tech issues with plugging all this stuff in and getting stuff working, getting stuff whatever. So it's gonna be coming with time. So I gotta move the camera here manually. So just bear with me for 2 seconds. Occupy yourselves in the chat. You know, like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that cringy stuff that I'm not gonna tell you to do. Like maybe do it. I don't know. Okay, so let's see. Let's get you guys nice and close here. Okay, so 5 to 6 are not too heavy. 5 to 6, perfect for duffels. Yeah, definitely. I would definitely say 5 to 6, hands down, is my favorite to work with. But other people, like I said, other people might suggest something a little bit thinner than that. But I think you're gonna like it when you use a 5 to 6 on a duffel. I have one. Hold on. So this one here, this is a 5 to 6 ounce Horween football leather. And it's beefy. That thing ain't going nowhere. It's nice and it's not too heavy either. It's probably about 2.5 pounds. Okay, so another thing is I don't have a microphone over here. So if you don't hear me talking for a minute, I'm just gonna stitch this thing up real quick, and then I'll come back, jump over here. Okay, do I sit? Do I not sit? Okay. Got that done. So now what I want to do is quickly move this back. So you guys can see what I'm doing here. And yeah, like I've said, this will definitely be a non-issue in the future. Okay, I lowered it, so just gotta raise her back up. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so you saw what I was talking about. It's slow. It's slow enough. Like I'm buying a machine for Christmas. I know, right? Like they're nice. It totally makes the dream come true when you're using a machine. Do you make commission on Texo if I order from you versus their website? Yeah, I sell them directly on my website, and I essentially drop ship them from their warehouse. So we work together on those machines. This is the first machine that I've had from them. Excuse me. It stitches like a dream, honestly. It's so quiet. I had a Cobra machine before as well, and like really good machine, don't get me wrong, but it's these Texos are so nice. I definitely approve of them for sure. Well, I mean, I wouldn't be selling them if I didn't approve. I don't have a regular lighter, so I gotta use a torch lighter. Okay, so I have that on. That's in place. We're good. Now what I want to do is I want to add a couple of rivets to the top and the bottoms of each stitch. Just make it look nice. Okay, so zoom in here so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. I was gonna say that doesn't look focused, but that's fine. Okay, so I'm actually gonna turn down my microphone while I do this, because this is probably gonna be pretty damn loud for you guys. But here, I'll answer some questions first here. While I enjoy the zen of hand stitching, I want to make money. Big thing, big thing to think about for sure. Is that, yeah, it takes up so much time. My first messenger bag that I ever made, it took me 24 hours to make it. Obviously I didn't know what I was doing, but it took me 24 hours to make it. The second messenger I made with a machine took me 4 hours start to finish. So just insanely fast. It's hard to sell a hand-stitched card holder to a customer who doesn't understand how much work was put in and why it costs as much as it costs. 100% agree, definitely. I can never charge enough for the time hard stitching takes, but I also don't have enough orders. While that definitely, you can kind of meet it in the middle. I mean, a machine too, it's not cheap to get a machine. You can definitely hand stitch. And so another workaround too is like, I know a lot of guys that just rivet, like they'll use like rivet. And you can make it look kind of cool. Like there's ways to get around stitching every single corner as well. People are cheap. They want to pay made in China price for a handmade product that took 1 to 2 hours to make. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I mean, you can sell a lot of stuff, definitely. You can sell a lot of stuff that you wouldn't have been able to had you not had that brand name. But people aren't dumb. Like at the end of the day, you can't really just charge anything. Like there's a limit to what people will and will not pay for their projects. Here, let me bang out these holes real quick. I'm gonna turn down my mic. All right. Okay, so we got that done. Pocket is on. So we are good to go there. So now I just have to stitch the whole thing together on both sides. So that being said, yeah, Brian at Low Tide Leather, he's pretty good for sure. Love his stuff. I gotta say my favorite leather worker, always has been, always will be, is Christian at Howell and Hyde. I don't know, his style is just unbelievable. It's the same kind of style that I did back in the day and that I'm gonna start doing again now. We have the similar tastes of stuff, and I've just always admired his work. Odin Clack, he was a really good leather worker back in the day. Well, still is a really good leather worker. But back in the day when I would watch his stuff, really, really inspiring types of stuff he was making for sure. Okay, so I want to apply this stuff quickly. Problem is this. Okay, so we'll start with that. Let's see if we can just draw a line here. Come on. There you go. Okay. I gotta get this bottle fixed for the next time I do anything. This is just too much. Too much work. Okay, there's that, there's that. Now we're getting into a groove. Definitely cleaning out that tip tonight. This is a little ridiculous. Okay, almost got her. Little ways to go. We're on the home stretch. Any of you guys watch baseball? I think the season's done. And now it's postseason, right? It's playoffs or whatever. I think tonight I mean, for me being in Canada, I'd have to follow the Blue Jays. And they got a game, I think, tonight, to be 100% honest. Might have to catch that. Okay. We're going to put this together. Just like so. Line her up all nice. Okay. And then we're going to use these guys. We will do one clip on the bottom. Like so. And I like to clip and then work my way out. Do you guys use protected clips? Like the ones with the leather on them, or cloth or anything like that. I try to put the clip kind of right where the stitch line is going to be. Hey, nice seeing you in here, man. Have a good rest of your evening and swing by anytime. Subscribe to the channel and follow all the socials so you know when I'm going live, and then you can tune in the future. But it's nice having you in here. Yeah, we're gonna just do that. Just dump them out here. This is the last thing I got to do to finish off the project itself with the stitching. And then after this, I can clean up edges, sand them down, do a little burnishing if I choose. But This essentially is just to test out the durability of this glass jack. I honestly haven't heard anything. It's been a very positively taken leather into the community. Everybody who's had it seems to love working with it, so that's music to my ears. But I want to also just take it a step further and see if there's anything I can improve on it, so that you guys are totally satisfied with it. It's going to take a while. It'll take a bit to get it to that level that I'm very, very, very pleased with. But so far, I'm already there. I tend to use the hammer down method just to stick the glue by hammering down gently and smooth mallet. Yeah, for sure. That's a good way to do it too. It's funny, eh? We've all got our little tricks of the trade, little things that we do. I kind of feel like that's actually not a bad idea. I could probably learn a little something from that. It sticks, this glue, it dries and sets so fast that I feel like it would definitely be hammerable for sure. Like, you could hammer this stuff down no problem and it would set very quickly. This is a water-based adhesive. Mycola. This is Renia Aqualim 315. Water-based adhesive, free of solvents. This has been a staple for myself for the past long while. And yeah. Okay, so anyway, this is almost done. This, right, will fold over. And we're just about there. We're on the home stretch. I gotta let this set for a couple seconds, and then I'm gonna draw the line all the way around the edge, and then we'll get back to it. So let me just hop in the chat here with you guys while this thing sets up. We're just about there. We're on the home stretch. I think the next project I'm gonna do will be a messenger bag. A certain messenger bag that I've had in my head for a long time. And then I think after that, we're going to do, or maybe before, I haven't quite decided yet, but I want to do a backpack again as well. I think that would be a lot of fun. I got some of the raspberry glass jack for a wallet and loved working with it. That's very nice to hear. I'm happy to hear that you're happy with it. That raspberry stuff is out of this world nice. Out of this world nice. Same with the aqua. That stuff is just unbelievably nice. And the funny thing is like, I brought in far more of this, the English tan, the medium brown, the dark brown, that kind of stuff, because I had a feeling that those were going to be the ones that were going to fly out the door a little faster. And I couldn't have been more wrong. It's been the raspberry and the aqua that people absolutely love. So that's good. That's good to hear. You know, that makes me happy knowing that it's the colorful ones that are going too, right? I use 3 different water-based adhesives, and all of them can be heat reactivated, which makes it easier to attach parts. That's unreal. Heat activated. That's cool. So if you put it on dry, or not dry, but like you put a layer of it down, what do you mean by heat reactivated? Is it kind of like you put the liquid down on the product, on the material, and then you heat it and then you stick it together? Like, do you have to do a layer of it on both sides of the project? Or how does that work exactly? DN, what's going on? Beautiful is the raspberry. Yeah, I love that stuff. Like I say, guys, I'm just waiting on this here to dry. this guy here, just waiting on it to dry. This is just a laptop sleeve. I just quickly whipped it up. I was gonna make a wallet today, and then I decided, no, I'm not in the mood to make a wallet. I never am. So I'm probably not gonna make very many of those, to be 100% honest. But yeah, I'm whipping up this laptop sleeve. I want to test the durability of this glass jack. So I'm just gonna run. I got one more stitch to run around the corners here, and then she'll be wrapped up for all intents and purposes. Put it on both sides, use heat gun, and then attach together. Yeah, that is kind of nice, hey? Because then you can lay out your project, you can take your time, you can build it how you want to build it, and then when you're ready to go, you just quickly throw a heat gun to it, and boom, Bob's your uncle. I love that. Are harness leathers always completely refinished on the flesh side? No, they're not. They just typically come that way. Like Wicket and Craig makes it that way. Mine is made that way as well. They're not always. It's just one of those things where a harness leather is typically a higher end tannage and a higher end leather. So since it's got an extremely nice top side to it, a lot of the times they'll just go ahead and add the finished flesh side or the paste back or whatever, paste it back to the leather as well, just to give it that extra oomph. You know what I mean? But honestly, there's a lot of leathers that I prefer a non-finished back on. I'm not always 100% a fan of it. There's a time and a place for it for sure. Like if you're using a leather for a wallet, let's say, where you're looking at the inside closely a lot of the time, that's an area for sure where pasted would definitely be the way to go. But on a bag or something, it's not really necessary. I wish it wasn't pasted, to be honest. Yeah, well, that's one of those things where I can definitely have it made non-pasted. Oddly enough too, sometimes the leathers I bring in, pasted or not, they charge the same amount for me to have it tanned and made. So it's one of those things where it's like, well, you might as well add that extra layer to it. Like you might as well add that extra work to it if it's not an extra charge kind of thing. But I do agree with you. I think that there's a place for sure for there to be even a harness leather like these ones that isn't finished. Maybe I should get them non-finished next time. God, you got my wheels spinning now. Well, you know what I could do? I could do a little bit of a bevel. I could do a bevel on this edge. I've got these number 2s here. I got new tools coming in as well. They're going to be pretty sweet. I think you should do a batch and try without. I wish it wasn't pasted. Yeah, sorry, I read that. Instant bond, but need to try if Aqualim works like this. Glue only a patch. Water-based. Does work even though it is not specified on the bottle. See, this stuff dries like really quick. This stuff definitely, it starts bonding like right away. And you're right, I definitely should do a batch. I should do a batch and test it out and see what it's like to have it non-pasted on the back. I think I'd like it, but it depends, right? Like it's gotta be, it has to be nice. It's gotta be nice looking stuff for sure. But yeah, I got new tools coming in. I've had a couple companies actually reach out. And they want to start working. So we're bringing in a few more tool companies, which is going to be fun. Should still be nice and clean. Yeah. So I agree. I think that it definitely is worth a shot. For sure it's worth a shot just to see. But like I say, it depends. It's got to be nice. It's got to be like ultra clean. Otherwise, I can't see it being worth it. Any chance of getting higher end rivet setting sets? Yeah, so that's another thing. Like the ones that I do offer are these ones right here. So it's just like, it's got the indents, and then you have concave punch tools, and you also have the ones for line 20 snaps and that kind of thing. That's another area where I almost want to find, it's almost impossible. It's so hard to find, but I want to find ones that are the setting punch machines, but they're not like super expensive, but they're not super crappy. It's hard to find ones like that. But have you seen anything that's a higher quality? Like what would you recommend for something like that? The page dries very quickly, but it has a great hold. It gets super gummy in the bottle after a few months though. I only use it when I don't need to worry about the fumes. Yeah, fair enough. When I do need to worry about the fumes. Yes, yeah. I get that for sure. Hey, just join. What's going on? Welcome to the stream. Page gives me a yellow coat in my burnished edge. Really? I don't mean quick rivet. I just mean traditional rivets. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So are you talking copper rivets? Copper rivets and burrs? I switched to LePage, low odor contents, man, and haven't looked back. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, it's nice to see you guys in here. We're having fun. Copper or brass. Yeah, see, I didn't even know that they made them in brass. I always thought they were just copper. That's cool. That's good to know. I'll definitely keep my ear to the ground on that one for sure. Yeah, buckle guy. They're just, everything they do is amazing. He's great. Svoboda Dancers, what's going on? Happy to see you in here. I'm just waiting for this glue to set, and then I'm going to stitch this bad boy, and then I'm done with it. I like brass, it's easier. That's good to know. Honestly, that's really good to know. I want to look into that. I think I want to get that going a little bit more. The rivets, and there's a lot of, see, that's the thing, there's so much hardware out there. There's so many things that I could bring in. It's just endless. But definitely worth spending time on, you know. Okay, so with this, okay, so another thing. Nah, I'm not gonna try it today. I haven't tried the roll down. What do you call it? Sarah, you're in here. What do you call on the machine, the roll down edge guide or whatever it is on the machine? I haven't tried that thing yet, and I want to try it, but the last machine I had never had one. So I just never got around to, yeah, see this stuff. I mean, I did just pull that apart, but it took a lot to pull that apart. Roller edge guide. Is that what I'm thinking of? I think that's what it is. Okay. Sorry guys, wrong camera angle here. Yep, roller edge guide. Stick with high-end solid brass, etc. hardware. You have a nice selection. Yeah, that's definitely what I would do, is like, if I'm gonna bring any of that kind of stuff in, it's got to be ultra nice stuff. I don't want to really dick around with middle of the road, find it kind of cheap type stuff. because there's a lot of that out there. Person's got to filter through it a little bit. But anyway, let me know what you guys are doing tonight. It's Friday night. Well, it's Friday. What is it anyway? 3:30. We've been live for 2 hours and 15 minutes. It has flown by like that. Unbelievably quick. What's your guys' plan now that we're going into the weekend? Anybody doing anything crazy? Fun? Trying a new restaurant? Going bowling with your grandmother? Trying out a new flavor of tea? Getting blackout drunk? I don't know what you're into. Yeah, Roller Edge Guide. Yeah, see, I thought so. I'm not as dumb as you think I am, okay? I find brass a bit harder to hammer down. I could see that. But they don't set off metal detectors in the airport, so I don't have to take off my belt. Security. Hey, that's nice. Isn't that the truth, hey? It's those little things that make a person just happy on the inside. That happened to me when I was just flying to the Okanagan there. I never had it go off. I never had the detector go off. And I thought about it for a minute. I was like, why isn't it going off? Like, what? I have my belt on. But that's why. Brass. So I'm just marking my line and then putting a few more straggler clips on here and there just to hold it while I go and stitch. Because I'm not going to be stitching on a flat bed. So I want to make sure that it just kind of holds in place and that I'm not relying solely on the glue. Because like if I wasn't streaming this and making this on live stream, I'd probably leave it like overnight. What I used to do back in the day when I would work a lot and do a lot of custom work for people, I would have 6 projects on the go, right? And you know, you let one dry and you move on to the next one kind of thing. Keep these tutorials coming so noobs like me learn a thing or two. Hey man, it's all part of it. I had to learn everything on my own. I didn't do any classes. I didn't do any tutorials. I just looked at types of designs that I wanted to try my hand at. I copied a few designs in the very beginning because I didn't know what I was doing, and I just tried to replicate something that was out there that I really liked, and then I tried to tweak it and modify it and add my flair and my spin on it. And it turned into a very illustrious custom leatherwork career, and I just decided to go on a different path with it. But definitely just keep at it. And these are not going to stop. I'm going to be doing these all the way through. I'm never going to stop doing this now. I've put so much effort into building this stream. It's not, I have to do it. I have to do it now. And then, yeah, everything I make too, like I had no plan for this. There was nothing, I didn't think about this. This was not planned out. Like I said to everybody earlier, I was going to make a wallet today. And then I decided against it because I don't like making wallets. But I had no plan for this. This is just kind of on a whim. I want to test leather and I just decided to throw this together. So that's all I'm going to be doing here is just making things. Like I said too, if some of you were in here that were here 2 hours ago when I started this thing, I want to make a pair of boxing gloves that are like solid gold. I think that'd be sweet. Like just something different, you know, like just a different thing to do. This weekend hand stitching 20 cigar stands and packing for work trip. Holy shit. That's wild. That's a lot. I got a bunch of cigars here. Haven't dipped into them yet. That's for another stream. Later. I bought a new Osborne ventilation punch. It'll be brogues on the shoes tonight. That's cool. I love the brogue punch. It's so unique and so cool. I like the hole punches. Like I have a KS blade punch and I just love that it does the round holes as opposed to the dent. I'm not a huge fan of the dent. I'm not a huge fan of the diamond. I like the holes, the wide holes. 3 3/8 kind of thing. I have an Oktoberfest feast and shindig at my cabin tomorrow. This live stream is excellent company whilst I do food prep. Love to hear that. Love to hear that. That's the whole idea with this, is like I've watched so many streamers, and I just toss it on in the background. It's fun to do podcasts and stuff like that, you know, but like there's nothing like having something live happening, you know, like even if it's not boring and it's just a camera angle of a half finished project. It's always a good time, but I'm happy to hear it. It's my bestie's B-Day party tomorrow, so I'm finishing up the clutch. I'm giving her as a gift tonight. That is slick. That's nice. Love to hear it. Would you use these boxing gloves? Fuck no. Probably not. I'd probably just hang them on the wall somewhere and they would just look cool. I think that I'm going to start hanging the things that I make on the side of the shop too. And so I'll start hanging them over here where all these bags that I've made are. And you guys will start to know that's like, well, I remember that stream. Like that was, yeah, I watched him make that, you know. I'm going to start doing that. I don't think I'm ever really going to sell anything that I'm making in here. Like this isn't really, I'm just doing this for fun. I'm not even really doing this for like tutorial purposes. I'm just showing you guys like, I'm getting back into my passion and it's just a window into it. Like it's just a way for you to, like, why bother making all these designs? And like, if I'm going to be giving these design notes away for free, so I guess it is a tutorial in a way. You might as well have a video that goes along with it where you saw me make it all the way through and you can actually interact with me and be a part of it, you know? So I think it's pretty cool. Every cigar stand I've made has been with OE supplied hides, so thank you for that. That's awesome. Thank you for that. That's incredible. That's awesome to hear. For sure. Got my tobacco pipe filled. Just waiting for a puff too. Nice. I've been thinking about doing the tobacco pipe for so long. I used to have one when I was younger. There's nothing like pipe tobacco. Unreal. Ian Svoboda is Brett, just so you know. Nice. Did he create that profile just to come in here? What a guy. I think you should have a build-off competition for the community. I think so too. I think that'd be pretty sweet. That'd be really cool. Definitely that'd be cool. Like come up with like new designs or come up with like take a design that I've made and tweak it, or like what are you thinking with that? Finishing up a purse using some of the Horween Distressed Red I got from you. That shit slaps. That leather slaps. I love that stuff so much. Much more energy through this, just knowing it's happening live. More real human connection, even at a distance. Yes, that's what I love about it, Trent. You're talking my language there. Vaping some indica over here. Laugh out loud. Decent. I didn't, just not smart enough to change the profile name. What a guy. You're hilarious. Okay, I think I'm going to jump on stitching this. Okay, so hold on. Your design, and they should build, and you pick a winner. Your design, and they should build, and you pick a winner. That'd be cool. See, what I think too is like you do a design, you throw your personal touch or flair on it. Something like that too. Like you got to add something to it or something. I like your idea though. I like that. I think you're onto something there for sure. You ought to make a cigar case on stream. Yes. And you know what else I want to make? I want to make a cigar on stream. Not a real tobacco cigar. You're going to think this is really stupid, but I've been thinking about this a while. I want to have bands made up, like proper cigar bands made up. And I want to just make like novelty rolled leather cigars. Just to put like, just for on display kind of thing. And the thing is too, is that I'm coming up to people with OE Leather Supply they're almost at their 100th order. And I want to do something really special for people who hit that milestone, and even like backtrack to 50 orders or something like that. But like, there's a cool thing to be done there. And I think it'd be cool if I made something to kind of honor some of you folks that are getting up there in your orders. So definitely, it's our Ukrainian dance account that he was just logged into. Oh, okay. I kind of figured, but still, I wouldn't put it past him to open up an account like that just to come in here and chat, and it's called Svoboda Dancing. That's great. Okay, I gotta move the camera one more time. Bear with me, everybody. Like I say, I'm going to be adding another camera in the future, but take this time to like and subscribe, because it's not cringy at all that I have to say that, but you know, do it if you want to. Okay. We'll do it nice and close up. I'm not going to be able to, my microphone is right here, so I'm not going to be able to talk while I'm stitching. I'm going to, like I said with the camera angle, I'm going to have a different camera angle over here as well in the future, and I'm going to have an external microphone as well. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to be a little quiet for the next couple minutes. But yeah, on my 99th order, you better write close but no cigar on the packings. Oh, you kill me. Okay. How do I even get in here now? What did I do last time? All right. It's amazing how much of like a flow state you get into when you're stitching. Oh, I almost forget who you are as a human being. Okay, what have I missed? Oh, you guys are just chatting. You're just chatting. Well, Ian, I think you'll be seeing my order. Yeah, man, I know. It's so nice. Machines are great. Especially this one, the 2750 Pro. This is definitely, I don't know, Sarah, you can probably agree with me here. I would say it's the #1 machine that people order. For sure. Okay, well, she's all stitched up. I just got to grab this back over one last time. Probably be ready by the next stream, I would say. There won't be so many moves here with cameras and whatnot, but yeah. Okay, wait, are we ready to go? We are ready to go. Oh, I want a machine so much now. I get it. I totally get it. What's the ballpark figure on that machine, Sarah? You want to 100% top favorite of our customers. 3,600 delivered all in. Sarah, you want to get a price and just tag it in the chat here? We'll get you, Mr. Zach, we'll get you a price. Okay, I'm going to turn down my mic for 2 seconds. Alrighty. Yeah, they're not that bad. They're not that bad in price for sure. Sitting in your cart for almost a year. Nice. Okay, we're done. We got her. We got her all done. So this is it here. So it's just a very basic, essentially just a sleeve. So I'll be able to slide the laptop in like that. I got my memory cards and whatnot. Nice. They nicely tuck into there as well. And then another pocket for whatever I need it for. That will fold up. And this is essentially what I'm testing. I want to see how well these edges will, or these creases rather, will hold up over time for sure. But this is it. So whenever you guys want to see this too, like I'm going to just start using this on the daily. If you guys ever want to see it, see how it's doing, see how it's wearing, just let me know in the chat here and I'd be more than happy to pull it up and show it off. So this is kind of cool. You can do it that way too. And then you have access to these pockets. It's kind of tight. These pockets are really tight. So this isn't going to be falling out anytime soon. But really basic design. I think if I was to do it again now, or if I was to do a different one, I think what I would do is just separate this pocket out. because I think that I liked the look. I like the look of this one better. It's a little cleaner. Like it's a little. There's just more to look at. It's more aesthetically pleasing, I think. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, but I would say I like the pocket style of that one better than this one. But this is, I like it. Like it's gonna do the job. It'll get the job done here. And then, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna test this out lots and see how it wears in over time. But yeah, essentially that's it. But anyway, yeah, I think I'm gonna call it there, guys. First stream in the books. This will be going up live as well. I'll put it in a playlist on YouTube, and then that way you can view it anytime. You can check it out anytime. But yeah, we did it. We made our first thing on stream. I'm gonna be doing a lot of these, a lot more of them for sure. And not everything, by the way, too, like not everything I make is going to be finished in a day. Like not, you know, I've been doing this for 2.5 hours. And if I was really, you know, coming down with the amount of time I took to work on it, probably an hour and a half. Like it probably didn't take me very long. And this, by the way, too, like what I should do is say like, what would I sell this for? I would $200 minimum for this thing. Like I wouldn't, maybe 100, 160, 170, maybe actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, it'd be closer to $200 for this for sure. So like if you were to use this design now and make it yourself, like fuck man, you can make a lot of money doing that. But anyway, yeah, I'll give you a little rundown each time I make something. The design notes for this are going to be going live as well. I'll keep you posted on that. I'll do them up, you know, ASAP. Maybe I'll do a live stream where all I do is just do the design notes for you guys, and you can watch how I do that too. And I'll run you through my process of how I would go through designing something. Thank you guys too for shouting out tips and stuff. Like I fucked up at the beginning and I wrecked it, but then you guys had an awesome. I wanted to just essentially curl the whole thing as one piece, but I cut it too short. I cut it in half. So one of you suggested just stitch it up. Just like this original one here, just stitch it up. And I love it. Came out real nice. I mean, obviously too, like you can spend time finishing the edges. I'll do a beveler as well on the edges, and maybe throw a little bit of Tokonole on it or something like that. Finish up those edges there. But I think it turned out kind of cool. So that's English Tan Glass Jack, just a simple leather sleeve for a laptop. You guys are awesome. Thanks for stopping by. Honestly, thank you for stopping by. Like I say, I'm going to be doing a lot of these in the future, so tune in anytime. They'll be available on YouTube anytime. Like and subscribe if you want to be a part of this moving forward, or don't. Totally up to you. But thank you all so much for joining me on this journey thus far, and lots of good stuff to come. So with that said, Gus, we're going home, buddy. We're taking off. Thank you guys, and I will see you in the next one.